Welcome to this week's edition of CEO Corner. I'm Otis Rawl, President and CEO of the South Carolina Chamber of Commerce, and I'm happy today to have Bill Boyd, the Chairman of the South Carolina Chamber and partner with Haynsworth, Sinkler, Boyd. Bill, the Chamber's got a big event coming up on November 12th down at Isle of Palms, our annual summit. Can you tell us a little bit about it and why people should come?
Well, Otis, as you well know from your many years with the Chamber, the summit is the annual event where we bring together members of the business and political leadership of the state. We're expecting about 400 business leaders and political leaders, and it gives us all an opportunity to talk about the issues that we think are important going forward. It's held before the legislative session starts. It's an opportunity to identify issues and talk about them in both a social and a business setting, and we think it's very important to the Chamber. It also gives us an opportunity to honor business leaders and educational leaders in the state for performance over many years.
Well, what do you think the issues are, at least the way you see it, Bill?
Well, of course, obviously, in this year, jobs and the economy are the issues. There have been, shall we say, some distractions over the last year, and we've got to get focused on the real issues, which are jobs and the economy. And we've identified ways to do that, but we really need input from the business and political leaders to talk about it.
Well, I know we've got a real entertaining agenda. We've got Jay Timmons, who's the Executive Vice President for NAM, to come talk about some of the issues that are occurring at the federal level with employee free choice, health care, and cap and trade. We've got Jim Newsom, who's the new Executive Director at the Port, to come talk to us about what's going on at the Port. And we also have Dr. Garrison Walters, who's going to come and talk about the release of the new CHE study and what that means for South Carolina. South Carolina's go compete in a global marketplace. So how do all these things kind of intertwine, and why is it important for folks to come listen to these people give their perspective of what's going on at both the state and federal level?
Well, I mean, you've identified it. We've got the federal issues up front, and those are important. Obviously, health care is number one on everybody's agenda, and cap and trade, and of course, freedom, free choice in the labor unions. And then we've got two of the critical issues in getting the jobs and economy going. One, of course, is the ports. We've got a new director of the port system, and he's got an opportunity that's unparalleled, in my opinion. The ports are a lifeline for South Carolina, both incoming and outgoing, and unless we pay attention to the ports now, we're not going to progress economically. The port system is a statewide issue. It's not a Charleston issue only. It's one on which all of us depend, and we need to pay attention to it. The other issues, workforce development, is really about education, and that's what we need to focus on. It's a chicken egg. I don't know what comes first, but until we pay more attention to education, we can't develop the workforce we need to get the industry we need to supply the jobs. So these are all issues you can talk about generally, but we need to get down to the specifics, and this is an opportunity to do that.
Well, I know we've changed the format this year for the summit, where it's more of a one-day program where we address issues specifically and where people can come down and attend. What this year's programs will consist of is a luncheon where we recognize our student achievers at Business Week, our scholarship winners, and have them make a presentation of why education, why Business Week was important to them. We also recognize the fastest growing companies in South Carolina, and then at the end we, as you said a little bit earlier, actually bring some recognition to some of the people that have been integral to what the chamber has done from a business perspective as well as from a public service. But what's more important is that we got a keynote speaker that we've never had before. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, he obviously will be introduced at the meeting, but Call Guard is worth the price of the ticket for being there. I mean, he's publisher of probably the most popular and well thought of business periodical in the country, and he's written multiple books. He started companies. He went to Stanford University. He's quite a public figure, and we're killing two birds with one stone. We're going to get him to South Carolina, and it's important that we have a lot of people there to hear him, because I'm sure he will have something of interest to all of us. It's a real coup to have him here.
Well, we think so too. We hope that you will come join us on November the 12th at Wild Dunes for our annual summit. I think the program will be interesting. It'll help us formulate our legislative package for next year, and also help you become educated on those issues that we'll be asking you to help us with as the legislature comes back in January to start dealing with the economic issues that are facing our state, as well as creation of jobs.